got the right bitch. No lefty, walking my truth, don't fuck with my step king, crawl for you, walk, run it, catch me, got a sharp tongue, spit.
Hey, darling.
Hi, love. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain at all now that you're here. Give the people your name and pronouns.
What's up?
Give the people your name and pronouns, please.
Oh, I'm Elle, and she, her, hers. Most people call me Miss Elle, Auntie Elle, something like that.
You do not look old enough to be nobody's Miss Elle, Auntie Elle. What's age and location?
I will be 42 in March, and I'm in Atlanta.
I guess you are, because I'm a bit younger than you. But,
Wait, you said what now?
I said, I guess I was mistaken. You're older than I thought, and I was younger than you, and they already calling me Auntie. So
it all of a sudden you go somewhere and be like, hey, that's Auntie. Like, wait a minute now. I was just this last week.
Wasn't it last week?
It was last week.
Now,
so
you said you're 46, and where do you say you at?
Atlanta.
18.
Originally from Western New York, but I live in Atlanta now.
What made you take the track down to ACL?
The weather. I don't like snow. I don't like cold. And I've lived that life for almost 30 years. And I said the opportunity presented itself, and I jumped at the opportunity.
I ain't mad, sis. I lived down there for a while, too. What is your zodiac?
I am a Pisces.
Okay, so your be coming up.
Yep. Yeah. In March.
Work.
Next month.
Sexual orientation.
Right now it's non-existent. Girl, it's kind of non-existent right now, but I have only ever dated cisgender men, but I'm open to dating non-cisgender men. I'm demisexual, so I've only ever found myself attracted to femme-presenting people that I knew really well, that I was like really good friends with, things like that. But I've never acted on any of those feelings.
Interesting.
You know, I'm from an age and a demographic where kai, you know, the girl on girl wasn't really the thing. So
yes, my mom big when they found out that I was dating another trans woman when I was, honey. We don't do that. That's your sister. Yeah. But I understand for some people, it's not even so much a sexuality thing as it is a ancestral thing. Mm-hmm. Like they feel like it's ancestral because they do feel like trans women are all sisters. And it's like, yeah, but cis men are my brothers. But what are you saying?
Right.
What do you do for a living?
Okay, I was talking about what I would like to do for a living. So my passion is gardening and homesteading, and so I would like to transition from what I do now in my full-time 9-to-5 into doing more of that full-time. So yeah.
What kind of work do you do now?
I work for a financial institution.
Corporate America.
Huh?
Corporate America.
Somebody like that, yes, unfortunately.
Are you single?
Extremely.
Why would you say that you're single?
Oof. I don't know who's watching this. I would say that I'm single because guys that I've dated were not, I'm not going to put it on them. I have dated people who were not at the level that I really needed somebody to date me to be at, and I thought I could get them to the level. And then I got upset and disappointed when I couldn't get them to that level. And in thinking about it just now, I don't know if I was more disappointed in them or in me.
Are you one of those women who accepts a challenge when it comes to dating? Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah, like a builder. Yeah, I have in the past. I'm moving beyond that now. So you got to come. The cake has to come already baked with the icing and the ice cream, and all of the things. So I used to try to get in there and bake the cake and add the sprinkles and but I realized that you can't add eggs to a cake once it's already out the oven.
Yes, honey. Yes, honey. That tends to be a commonality that
Oh,
I notice with my sisters. And outside of sexual variance, do you identify anywhere else on the spectrum?
explain what you mean by that for me.
I'm gonna be blatant. Are you cis or
Oh, I'm
trans?
trans.
Okay.
Girl, what?
I I wanted to make sure, honey. You never know. You know what the girls is out here getting, honey, baby. Now I know how it is when we look in the mirror. A lot of times we might not see what other people see. But honey, I don't make assumptions.
Well, I
But
appreciate
that that tends to be a common thread that I notice amongst me and my sisters because, honey, I fall for a broken wing really quick. I fall for a broken vessel very, very.
that. And be trying to get that little bird back in the nest, honey. Bring him in your nest, and you done fed him. And then as soon as that wing get healed, honey, they flew off. No, ma'am, not anymore.
Honey, fed that bird all the worm, honey. Then fed all the worm in the nest, baby. Honey, and still, honey, he picking worms from out the dirt.
Uh,
How long
sorry.
have you been single, Elle?
It's probably been at least 4 years, so quite a long time.
Um,
Yes, it was before the pandemic. I haven't dated anybody seriously since before the pandemic. Pandemonium.
I can relate. I can relate. That's a whole conversation in itself. How long has been your longest relationship thus far?
Probably about 4 years, maybe. Yeah, I think about 4 years. Me and my ex dated when I was in New York still.
Oh, okay, how
And
long
then
have
and then I also have an ex that I dated here in Atlanta for. I mean, we're still friends, and we've known each other now for about almost 10 years. But we dated off and on throughout that point.
how long
My,
have you been in Atlanta?
12 years. I moved here in 2010.
Okay. So are you more of like the relationship oriented type of girl? Because it sounds like you've been in a couple of long term situations.
I am. I definitely gravitate to relationships. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, we can analyze that later.
Well, if it's a bad thing, girl, then we both stuck in Shit's Creek without the paddle. Have you ever been married or engaged?
Like legally, no.
A kind of like a domestic partnership kind of.
Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. Yes.
I take it. I take it. Do Are you ready for love?
I'm gonna ask my therapist if I'm ready, and I'm gonna get back to you because I don't know.
Girl, I was just talking about my therapist, honey. I guess we both got their ears on fire tonight, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, they is getting their coin, honey. I know they is getting all of the Medicare coin that they deserve out of me. Could
Yes, ma'am.
could you describe your ideal partner or your potential ideal partner?
I'm going to say, I mean, without having to give like all of the basic stuff, like honest and that kind of stuff, I would say extremely supportive, attentive, extremely, but also I would like somebody that kind of likes the sort of gardening, homesteading kind of stuff that I'm into. I would like to share that with my partner. On some level, it doesn't have to be all of the things that I'm into, but I would like to be able to share that with them, or have that be a common ground. I also like to get on the Xbox every now and again, so I would like to, um, maybe have a partner who I could do that kind of stuff with. I see I got some of my other friends are in the, I'm watching this live now. Oh my God, what did I do? Um, and travel. So I like to travel as well. So I would like to, meet somebody who likes to travel.
Baby, that sounds like a good man to me, honey,
Person.
or good person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I correct myself. Deal breakers.
Um. Oof. Okay. Long distance without a plan to relocate. I would. That's like a non-starter. Um. Smokers of all kinds, of all of the things. I can't do it. I don't like the smell of smoke. And I don't. Yes, I can't do it. So. Let's see. I'm not really. It's not a lot of other stuff. Like I've been in ballrooms, so like if I was dating somebody that was in ballroom, okay. Let's do that. Let's support. I've done pageants, so I've been dating somebody who's into that. I've used to work at a bar, so if it was dates, I'm supportive of all of the queer things. But I would love to be with somebody who was like community minded and wanted to you know, build up the people, build up the people.
I definitely get it. I definitely get it. Um, Side note, you mentioned being involved in ballroom and all of that. I would love for you and I to privately schedule a time to ballroom chat. I started secretly doing those and posting them on YouTube, and they turning out really dope. But we'll get back to finding you love, honey. Do you have any appearance preferences?
No, I can't say that I do because I've dated guys that were short, like short. I'm like almost 6 feet, 5'11" and a half. And so I've dated guys that were short. I've dated guys that were 6'4". I've dated guys that were dark skinned, that were light skinned, that were thin, that were thicker. Um, you know, yeah, no issues there. As long as you smell good, I'm good on that. I have a very sensitive nose, so like I'm really big on I have to love the way you smell. Cologne or not, I have to love the way you smell.
Baby, honey, I forgot until recently I had walked in somebody's house and I was like, oh yeah, some people do just have odors, don't they? What,
Oh my
what,
gosh.
what would you consider your greatest strength?
Um, oof. I would say that I go I will go to the ends of the earth for people that I love. There is no limit to what I will do for people that I like. Once I fuck with you, yeah, we're gonna slay the dragon. We all of that's gonna happen. Um, but when I don't fuck with you, baby, you're dead to me. So I try not to have people because and it takes a lot, but I try not to have people become dead to me.
This interview makes a lot of sense on why I tend to get along with Pisces. I don't know if Virgo always I get along with Pisces, and that's because, yeah. And any Pisces friend who we've ever cut each other off, we might speak if we in the same room and it's small.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If there's the option to not, I'm gonna take the option to not.
Would you consider yourself more of a dominant or submissive personality in relation?
Ooh. So I say it like this. Um, I will bring the energy that needs to be brought. So if you need Tiger, I will give you Tiger. But if you want House Cat and House Cat is needed, I will sit in your lap and purr. So
Is sex important to you?
is penetration important? No. Is intimacy important? Yes. I love intimacy. Sex can happen, intercourse, penetration can happen or not happen. And there's ways around that too. So I think I think that's the other problem that I have is that I'm in an age demographic where a lot of people are very particular about the kind of sex that they want to have. And so when you're somebody that's demisexual, you're somebody who's like, I'm not like, while I am sex positive, I'm not like sex forward. And so when you're not that kind of person and you're a little bit more reserved in that way, it really turns a lot of people off. I have been on the apps. I've not been on the apps in about a month now, or a little bit over a month, a little over a month since before Christmas. But I would get a lot of guys that would be like, "Oh, are you top or bottom? Are you this or that?" And I'm like, I don't want to answer those questions. I don't know you. Like, I don't even like you enough to want to have sex with you. So why am I answering these questions? And they're like, I need to know now to even know if I want to invest time in you. And I'm like, if you gotta know what we gonna do in the bedroom in order to want to get to know me as a person, like I don't want to be bothered, you know, because I don't even think about that with people until like I really really like them. So, and at that point, it's like, well, whatever we gonna do what we gotta do. So whether whether we already came with the necessary equipment or whether we need to go pull it out of a drawer or you know what I'm saying? So
I get it. I get it.
you know.
I definitely understand the frustration. And I remember initially, or when I was younger, being on the apps and dealing with a lot of the hypersexual people on the apps, and me not being hypersexual, it was always a conflict. And in that, I would be quick to judge that other person. Like, oh, you coming at me like this, everybody then. You didn't came at everybody like this, everybody with your business and blah, blah, blah. But as I've gotten older and gotten to know people and dated more and stuff like that, I realized that there are some people who are hypersexual, but they are capable of monogamy. They might be hypersexual, but they are selective. Like, yeah, I might have jumped out and sent you some nudes, but I'm not checking for everybody, so I'm not going to be jumping out sending,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely a fine line between the creeps and the good folks that just happen to like busting a nut.
Right, right.
When was
And then go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just saying that second category is few and far between. Seems like the good ones that just like to do what they do.
Yeah,
There's a lot of creeps out
it is
there.
it's very few and far between, and I say a thin line because I've seen some decent people, men, trans women, non-binary, agender. I've seen a lot of decent people who are sexual and are good people, and they've just been so hurt, so heartbroken, and they become so jaded that they don't expect anything out of other people outside of sex. But speaking of sex, when was the last time you were active in these streets?
Oh, honey, with another person. Um. Oh, girl, I don't even. It's been a long periodically time.
Monogamous or non-monogamous?
The last time was I haven't been monogamous since my last relationship.
But are you somebody who's open to non-monogamy in relationship?
I am considering the option. Yeah, I'm considering the option. I'm considering the option of a like a throuple. I'm all the options are on the table right now because the options that were on the table they was not working. So we have to bring in some new options and be open to exploring other options. And if those options don't work, then we look at other options. But right now, all the options are on the table.
Only advice I give is to check in with your partners, and maintain boundaries as soon as you recognize them. Is PDA a thing for you?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I like holding hands, like going for walks, stuff like that. Um, I like going out to eat. Those are like, that's like non-negotiables. I have to be able to know that I'm not a call me at 11 o'clock girl. I'm not, even if I am a homebody and we stay at home most of the time, I have to know that it's by choice and not by default, or by like, you don't feel comfortable going places. Like, can't do that.
Much respect.
Somebody
What's your age?
said, somebody said, look at the question section. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I got you, Flex. I
Oh,
got you.
okay.
What is your age range for dating?
I would say I'll be 42 this year. I would say, okay, so I would say 30 and up, but like the closer you get to 30, the more like extremely mature you have to be. And then end up. And maybe not end up, but because it's gonna depend on, you know, the conversation and all of the things. But yeah, I'm not ageist besides babies.
I took it.
But,
And I wouldn't judge. How do you feel about kids in marriage?
um, if I found somebody that wanted to be married and they wanted to marry me, um, then I would consider it. If they already had kids, I would have already taken that into consideration. As far as adding kids into the relationship, don't think that that would be something that would be necessary. If it was something that my partner felt like would make them feel cold, complete, whatever, I would consider it. But I've always told myself that if I ever had kids, I would need to be a stay-at-home parent. So if I was dating somebody who couldn't provide me with a stay-at-home parent life, then I don't know how much I would be considering being a parent.
It's a little scary. I've never heard anybody have my exact take on
Is that really?
my exact take. The one relationship I was in, where we were close to marriage and we were planning and thinking about kids, the goal was for him to be the stay at home dad. For me, I prefer the other parent to be the stay at home, but somebody has to stay at home. We have to at least homeschool that child outside of socializing them with other children. We have to homeschool that child for a period.
Baby,
And
they out here banning books, honey. Somebody got to make sure the child is reading the right shit.
honey, if we in America anyway, but income requirements. Do you have any income requirements for a partner?
So okay, so I'm of the mindset that there are two types of partners. There are partners who have money and partners who spend money. And so I would much rather have a partner who makes less money but is bringing all of the money to the table than to have somebody who makes a whole lot of money but they're only bringing, let's say, a small fraction of that money to the table. So, because I'm gonna bring me, as long as we're in the relationship and we get to a point where like finances is a concern. If we're not at a point where finances is really a concern, we're just kicking it, kind of dating, then no. But if we're at a point where finances are really a concern and we're trying to, like, if we're talking about commingling and or building or anything like that, then yeah, I need to make sure that your level of commitment is on par with my level of commitment and not dollar for dollar, but like percentage for percentage.
Mm, mm, I did that. I did that. Uh, Are you a night in or a night out kind of girl?
when we night out where, because I'm not really a club. I'm not really club. I mean, I can do that. I have done that. I can definitely do that. Um, I have heels. I'm not afraid to use them. But I also am very much like Netflix and Netflix and minus the chill part.
I meant to ask you this this earlier. Do you drive or live alone?
I do drive and I do live alone.
Word.
Well, I mean, I have my pets and my animals, but
Do you smoke or drink? Well, you told us you don't like smoke, but do you drink?
so, and to be clear, I do drink on occasion and I do indulge, but I don't smoke.
Okay. Would you be willing to relocate for love?
Anywhere south of where I'm currently living.
Anywhere south of Atlanta, you would be willing to move?
Yep. So, I-20 south. I I can't do north anymore. I'm not doing no cold winters. I don't. Nope, can't do it.
I'm just scared for you out there, sis, with the hillbillies, and the Trump flags.
Um, I mean, I would be scared for somebody who rolled up on me with some bullshit.
That's my sis. That's my sis, y'all. I don't know if y'all know or not. Do you see any change for yourself in the next 5 years?
Do I see any what?
Like make this for yourself in the near future?
Um, I mean, major changes. Not anything that I would think would be like detrimental to a relationship. Like I don't plan on moving out of town. At this point, I don't plan on quitting my job and starting a cult. Nothing like that.
Do you know your love language, Elle?
So I've taken that test a couple of times. It typically goes to words of affirmation. Um, is really big for me. Um, Borderline kink praise kink. Um, and that's when I'm in the house cat mode though. And then on the flip side, like I'm a very thoughtful person. So I like thoughtful like gifts. So because I'm a very thoughtful person. So yeah.
And these are all questions from the chat that I'm asking you. I'm done. I'm my questions.
Yeah. So thoughtful gifts. If somebody can help me do something, I forget which is the actual name of that love language, but when people like help you do something or take something off your plate, that's the one. Yes. So yeah, those are my big three.
I take it. Somebody wants to know, how do you feel about old school courting?
um, I think that it is. I think that people. I like old school courting. But I think that art form, that's the word I want to use there. That art form is so misused, and to the point that it's been devalued.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, but I like old school courting.
I think I get it. To be honest with you, I think it's so primitive in the way that I grew up, in the culture, that in the society that I grew up in, the community I grew up in. I think it's so primitive that I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Um, they also want to know if you're spiritual or religious.
Um, I would say spiritual. Probably, yeah, it's more than religious.
Do you have any particular practices? Like, do you pray, or any particular religious thing?
N- Nothing particular at this moment.
It is a lot of
I'm
questions.
I'm I'm on that journey.
It is a lot of questions in this chat. Um,
Oh, I'm
a,
excited.
a few of the questions came from the same person. You know who you are. I ain't gonna call you out. Hit Elle up privately so that Elle can break some of this stuff down. Some of the questions I don't even feel comfortable asking.
Oh no,
I
not
don't feel comfortable asking publicly. It's not anything disrespectful, but I just feel like it's too private for a video that's going to be on YouTube and tell how long
right.
for.
The internet never forgets.
Exactly. Exactly. Is it anything that you would want a potential partner to know, or is there anything who you would want somebody who's going to hit you up to know about you that we didn't bring up?
Um, I think I kind of talked about everything. Um, yeah, like first date, let's do a road trip, like a short road trip, something like that.
Okay, this they want me to keep
Oh my.
going, so I'm going to point out a few more questions that I think are good questions.
Okay.
Um, how do you feel about being a woman? How do you feel about being the one to propose if you ever thought somebody was worth marrying?
So that goes back to that old school courting. That's me proposing is not my ministry.
Ah!
Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me say this. I could not personally see myself proposing to a male presenting person.
Agreed.
And even hearing it, like, I hate how traditional and gendered that sounds, but I can't see it going any other way. I just can't. I'm
I
so
mean,
sorry.
hey, it is what it is. Gender is a thing for a reason. We have gender identities for a reason. We're trans people for a reason, and a lot of these roles have something to do with it. I know for me, I couldn't see myself proposing to a man, and I won't take out trash if I'm in the house with a man, whether I'm fucking him or not. That's just
Look,
me.
or pump gas either.
Okay, honey, the fuck I look like smelling like gasolina. No. Um, what are your turn ons and turn offs?
Um, mm, ambition. Ambition is a big, like, a person. Like, when I talk to somebody and they tell me that they have goals, but they also tell me about, like, how they're getting to the goals. And then when I see you getting to the goals, oh, I like you. I like you.
Ain't it a turn on?
Oh my gosh. Oh, ambition is and it don't even have to be like monetary ambition, but just seeing that you are working towards something. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Something you have
Uh,
a purpose.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then to that, people who are working in their passion and on their passion versus just working. My dogs are now playing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we ain't going to keep you. Girl. We ain't going to keep you no longer, Al. Um,
Okay.
tell the folks, because I know the children want you to tell the folks how to get back with you.
Well, I'm on here, Miss Elle Presents. I'm also on TikTok, Miss Elle Talks. So y'all can feel free to reach out, follow the doll.
To catch Elle on Instagram, that is Miss Elle Presents, MSELLEPRE. SENTS.